world of vaccine passports is about to begin in Australia. From tomorrow, the New South Wales government has announced regional businesses will be able to choose to refuse unvaccinated patrons as they reopen. When you walk in the door of a business, you are there on the basis of the terms they let you in. And from tomorrow, they can choose to enforce a vaccination mandate if they want. Earlier this week, New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian announced freedoms for fully vaccinated people once the 70% double dose target is reached. These include being able to go to hospitality venues, hairdressers, gyms, and have 5 people at your home. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews has said that Victoria is going to do something similar. Freedoms for the double vaxxed, lockouts for the unvaxxed. So how will Australians be able to prove that they are fully vaccinated? Vaccinated Australians can access a COVID-19 digital certificate through the MyGov app or the Express Plus Medicare app. Here is an example of what one looks like. I added mine to my digital wallet on my phone today. Those needing proof of vaccination for overseas travel will soon have this particular certificate linked to their passport. Remember that little microchip that's now embedded in Australian passports? For return travellers, this technology is likely to inform the circumstances under which you quarantine. Fully vaccinated travellers are likely to have less stringent requirements. Now, New South Wales and Victoria are working together on a proof of vaccination system for entry into hospitality venues and events. This will be run through the Service New South Wales app or the Service Victoria app that people have been using to scan in using QR codes. The big change is that now the vaccination data from the Australian Immunisation Register will be embedded in those apps. This means when you scan in, the proprietor will be able to see if you have been vaxxed or not. As you can see on this example involving Betty's Cafe, the vaccination status of the patron, Steve Citizen in this case, is clearly shown on the screen. This is what is coming, Australia. For people who cannot get vaccinated, there is likely to be a demand of proof of a negative COVID test in order to gain entry. Italy, France and Israel all have vaccination passports and are now using a negative COVID test as an alternative way to gain entry. Now, the check-in app in all other states and territories do not yet have a vaccination verification mechanism in them. So if you're living in South Australia, Queensland, WA, and so on, the app you've been using no longer have that vaccination verification technology. But it's fair to say these states will have to learn to live with COVID sooner or later, so it won't be long before they are succumbing to or scrambling for this technology as well. Now, make no mistake, this is the biggest expansion of the surveillance state that has ever occurred in our lifetimes. In France and other countries, the introduction of vaccine passports caused riots in the streets. It will certainly cause protests in Australia as well. But most people will happily comply for the very good reason that it helps beat the virus and it helps get our lives back. Emergency measures for emergency times. But Rita, I am sure you will be pleased to hear me say that when the emergency is over, these measures must go as well. But for now, we say thank you to the good folks of regional New South Wales, because from tomorrow, you are the guinea pigs for the entire nation as we enter the brave new world of vaccine